What's happening, guys? This is King Intensity here, and in this video you'd probably be expecting me to talk about the Battlefield Hardline beta, which everyone's been getting stoked about. You got some great E3 coverage, everybody's been playing the closed beta, at least for the people that have gotten into the closed beta. For everyone else, they're watching lots of gameplay, and like I said, E3 has been insane. But I think the thing I've gotten most excited about, especially during E3, was Battlefront 3. And so in this video I kind of wanted to compare Battlefield and Battlefront, sort of both franchises, and just sort of compare the two between themselves. And as you already know, Battlefront 3 is going to be made by DICE, who obviously made Battlefield 4, but Battlefield Hardline is being made by Visceral Games with the assistance of DICE. And at E3 we didn't get to see much, but we did get to see a little tiny glimpse of what we can expect from Battlefront, which DICE has been working on, and that is why Visceral Games is currently developing and will release pretty soon here Battlefield Hardline, because DICE is busy making Battlefront. But the question I want to ask you guys, and what I've been sort of thinking about for a while now, is what do you think makes a better genre? Battlefield or Battlefront? So Battlefront, obviously it's Star Wars. You got an entirely different genre from a modern military shooter like Battlefield. You got the sci-fi genre in Battlefront, which is, you know, spaceships and Jedis fighting with their lightsabers, and of course nobody can forget the R2-D2. You can't forget R2-D2. But you know, I was sort of thinking, which one really does make a better genre? With a sci-fi genre like Battlefront, there's really more room to be more creative. And what I mean by that is, with Battlefield you have a modern military shooter. There isn't a whole lot you can be creative with in that genre, and let me explain. Battlefield, it's more realistic. I will give it that. It's more realistic than Battlefront will probably be, but you can't do certain things in Battlefield that you could probably do in Battlefront. Like when I was playing Battlefront 2, you can go in spaceships, you have Jedis that you can use the Force with, and you get all this crazy stuff that you're not going to find in a modern shooter. And so it really gives DICE that sort of creative edge in the genre that they chose to develop. So it's sort of branching off from Battlefield. It's going to be used on the same engine and all that, so those pieces of the game will be similar, but the actual genre itself I think is a really creative idea for something that DICE is trying to do, and that is to obviously make a great multiplayer game with massive landscapes, but then also add in the Star Wars feel to it. So I'm really excited to see what DICE really does with this, because we've been playing Battlefield for a long time. Battlefield 4 was great, and we're just now getting Hardline, and I'm actually not too sure what to think of Hardline. It sort of looks like a Battlefield 4 mod at the moment, but you know, it's just a beta, so can't really be quick to judge until we see more stuff. But I am really excited for Battlefront to come out, due to the fact that DICE can be really creative with this game. They can tool with a lot of ideas, more so than they can with maybe a modern military shooter. Like, for example, the single player of Battlefield, it's really, if they're gonna make a Battlefield 5 instead of Battlefront, there's not a whole lot of things they could do with the single player. I mean, like in every single modern day shooter game, single player, like the world has gone to World War III at least 30 times. And so there's not really any new creative ideas, especially for single player, that you can do with a modern day shooter. Now Star Wars, on the other hand, we already have all the movies and all that, but they can make a really creative single player with that, maybe one that we haven't seen before. And that goes for the multiplayer as well. There's lots of creative ideas. Like I said, I used to play Battlefront 2 back in the day, and that was a very fun game. I had lots of fun on it. You can play as Jedi, you can fly off in a spaceship. And when I sort of picture the game Battlefront in my head, I'm imagining like massive battlefields and just being able to walk up to a spaceship and just take it into space, and then there's another entire battle going on up there that's completely separate from what's going down on the ground level. And so really the idea of that is just, in my mind, is just really amazing, and we don't know, I haven't really seen any exact gameplay of that kind of stuff yet, but that's sort of what I'm imagining in my head. And that kind of genre itself does open a lot of creative ideas that a modern day shooter doesn't have. So really, I've gone off on a lot of tangents. You guys are probably wondering where I'm actually at in this video, but there's one question I want to ask, and is Battlefront or Battlefield a better genre? The answer for you guys might be they're both great games, which is probably what I would say. They're both really fun games, but which one are you looking forward to more, Battlefront or the next Battlefield? So I'll leave you guys with that, comment below and all that, and I will catch you guys in my next video.